Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to finally be doing this video. This has probably been the most requested video on my channel for quite a long time now, and the reason it's taken me so long is because I wanted this video to correspond with the launch of my second channel that I have decided to start, and it is going to be a dedicated kids learning channel. It's called Carter's Corner. I'm going to have the link for it down below, and my vision for this channel is that it's for both moms and kids, all based around kids learning. I'm going to be doing dedicated videos on specific learning topics, so like learning the alphabet, shapes, colors, numbers, all of those things. And then there's also going to be videos of Carter doing interactive activities, so playing with learning toys and doing DIYs like making slime and other fun things for kids. So definitely go over to that channel and subscribe. The first video is going up on that channel tomorrow. It is possibly the cutest video I've ever filmed. You guys will love it. So the link for that again will be down below. For today's video, I'm going to be covering kind of the foundation, the most important building blocks for your child's brain development and learning. These are the things that are going to help them the absolute most. So if you hear or learn nothing else, this is the video you want to be watching. I encourage you, if you have other mom friends, to share this with them, because I know from firsthand experience how much all of these tips I'm going to share with you actually do work. Two quick things I have to say before we start. The first is the goal of all of this is not that we are trying to develop some child prodigy or some genius and that they can tell you all of the presidents by age 2. The goal really is that they enjoy learning, that it's a fun and interactive activity, so that when they do go to school, it's a positive experience that they're excited about and it's going to set them up for success. And the second thing is, please do not compare your child to my child or any other child. I know as a mom, it's really hard not to. And my personal biggest regret as a mom is all the time I wasted in his first year of life obsessing over his milestones and when he was going to crawl, when he was going to walk. And I had several friends whose kids were walking and crawling and doing all of these things much before Carter. And I was so stressed out and I thought something was wrong with him. And it was just such a waste of time. Every kid is going to learn and develop and grow at their own pace. Sorry, that was such a long intro, but those things were all very important to be said. Now, jumping into the meat of it with the first most important thing that you can do with your child, pretty much starting from birth, and that is reading. And you might hear this and say, Brittany, I already know I should be reading to my child, but it is so much more detailed than that. How you read, when you read, what types of book you read, when to start reading with your child. I started with Carter around 2 to 3 weeks old, and I made it a habit that every time after I breastfed him, I would read him 1 to 2 books. So it became part of our routine and something that he was used to doing from an extremely young age. And also at that age, it's a good way to kill time because there's very few activities your newborn can do, but they can sit there and listen to you read a book. Now is the types of books. I am very particular in the types of books that I like to get for Carter and that I think he gets the most from. The first is that they're board books so that he can be interactive with the book and I don't have to worry about him ripping the pages or damaging it. The second is books with not too many words and not too long, because otherwise he will lose interest. And the third is having big, clear pictures with some background elements. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute by that, because the visual element of it is key in connecting the dots and having them learn the words. Now, the goal of reading your child a book is not to actually read the book. And that might sound weird, but just hear me out. The goal is to make it an interactive, fun learning experience for them. So this book, May I Please Have a Cookie, is a perfect example of what I'm talking about, all of the elements that I look for in a book. And how I would read the book is you first read the page and then you spend time going through the things on the page. And there is a specific progression of how to do this. From birth up until about 10 months old, what I would do is I would focus on pointing out all the different elements on the page and in the book. So we would say, cookies, stove, banana, apple, cars. So every time we're reading the book, I am pointing out all the elements on all the pages. And a big part of this is that there's a lot of repetition. We're reading the same, 10 to 20 books every single day. So over time, through that repetition, they will learn all of the words, not just the story and the characters, but they will learn the words and the elements on the page. Now, as you're going along, you can add adjectives to it. So instead of Banana, you would say yellow banana or red apple, round cookies. Now, phase 2, from about 10 months old to maybe 18 months old, is you ask them where things are on the page. Where are the cookies? Yes. Where's the banana? And this is the part where it's really fun because you can start to see them connecting the dots. And then phase 3, somewhere between 16 and 24 months, you start to ask them, what's this? And then they can tell you. What do families park in their garage?
Boot in the
What is it?
boot.
What's this?
Bicycle.
Bicycle. What color?
It's red.
It's red. What's that at the front door?
A kitty cat.
A kitty cat. And meow. Yeah, what's that?
A fashion.
Trash can. Another really important thing about reading is be animated, be excited, use different intonations in your voice. The more excited you are about reading and about the story, the more excited they will be. And again here, repetition is key. It is not about having hundreds of books. You want like 15 to 30 really good books that have all the elements I was talking about, and continue to read those same books to your kids day after day. And then by this point, now Carter is 22 months, he has memorized almost all of his books. And of course, I do add new books in here and there, a couple new ones a month. And what I'm gonna do is down in the description box, I'm going to leave links to all of Carter's top favorite books that I recommend. So check there if you want specific recommendations. Carter absolutely loves reading. He's super engaged in doing it. And I think it's because I just established that from such a young age. All right, now on to phase 2, which is talking to your child. This is so critically important, and there is actually research to back this up. And that is the number and diversity of words your kid hears before the age of 3 is linked to their IQ later in life. And I do want to emphasize here, this is the number of words that they hear, not the number of words that they say. And so that is something that you as a parent can control and can really help contribute to. This is something that I had read in my favorite baby book. I've talked about this multiple times. It's called Brain Rules for Baby. I will leave it linked down below. I highly recommend every single parent read this book. It talks about the importance of talking to your child. So my rule that I follow is called ABT, which is always be talking. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is not that easy to do. It is exhausting. It's tiring. You don't always want to do it. But this is probably the one thing I've done that has had the biggest impact. So it is totally worth it. And the more you do it, the more it just becomes second nature and you don't even notice. The main thing that I do is I just describe everything. I describe what we're doing. I describe what he's doing. I describe our surroundings. I'm always just pointing things out and describing things that are around us. Like I said, this can be exhausting and tiring. So when I am feeling lazy, what I do is I sit over on the couch. I call it my perch. And Carter plays, and I just sit there and I will describe everything he's doing. And this does need to be you talking directly to your child. So this can't be them in the same room with you as you're talking to your spouse or them watching TV. It does have to come from you. If you're not with your child all day, what I recommend doing and what I've personally done is we have a babysitter that comes for a couple hours a day, and I've asked her to talk with him the entire time she's here. And she does, because I'm in my office working and I can hear her. And if your child is in daycare or has a babysitter or a nanny, you can ask them to please talk to your child as much as they can. And if for some reason they can't, then you can just do it as often as you're interacting with your child to the best of your ability. Because like I said, this is tiring. You don't have to do it all the time. And like the reading, talking is also a progression. So the first thing when your child is young, under age 1, the focus is kind of pointing things out around you. This is a hairbrush. This is a book. This is a phone. This is a cup. And then as your child gets older, between 10 months to 18 months, start to ask them to point things out. So where's the ball? Where's the cup? And they will start to make those connections and they can point things out. And then phase 3, which I'm actually going to put in its own category, because I think this is the single thing that I do that I think has made the single biggest difference in how much Carter is speaking at this age. And that is asking questions. So when you ask your child questions, it is allowing them to make that connection in their brain and set those neural pathways. And so this is very, very important. It's asking questions in a very specific way. So I would say to Carter, what is this? And I will wait. I will not answer for him. And I think that is something that parents can tend to do because they think, oh, my child doesn't know, so I'm just going to answer it. But what I'll do is I'll say, Carter, what's this? If he doesn't answer, I'll ask again, Carter, what's this? And I will still pause for a good, solid 5 seconds. And if he still doesn't answer, then I'll say, this is a cup. Can you say cup? And sometimes he'll try to say it, sometimes he won't. That's not as important. But I do this all day long. And in a scenario where they do answer the question, so you say, Carter, what's this? And he says cup. I would say, yes, this is a cup. So I'll answer it in a short sentence. And it started with just simple questions, having him identify the things around him, the things that I knew that he knew. And then I'll say, this is a gold cup with a black cap. And yes, I do talk like that because it makes it easier for him to understand. So then the next time I'll say, Carter, what's this? And he'll say cup. And I'll say, what color cup? And he'll say gold. Say, what color is the cap? And he'll say black. So over time, what I'm doing is I'm building on the things that he knows. So he's saying the noun, the adjective, and he's able to speak in short sentences. Something else I started doing with him probably around 20 months is that we recount his day, everything he's done that day. And what this is doing is it's helping him build up his memory, his short-term memory. So I'll say, Carter, what did we do this morning? And he'll say, park. I'll say, yes, we went to the park. And who did we see at the park? And he'll say, Everly. And I'll say, yes, we saw your friend Everly. And we'll recount all the things he did that day. Now, at this age, at 22 months, he can tell me all the things we did that day, which is so cool to see. At the beginning, it was hard because it's hard for kids at this age to remember much. But because we practice every single day, it is so cute to see that he is remembering the things he's doing and it's helping to build up his memory. I know this is a lot of information and I hope this is making sense, but also on Carter's Corner channel, I am going to be showing you in practice how I do these things because I know just explaining it might not make as much sense. I hope that it does. A question I know I'm going to get is related to screen time and what my thoughts and my personal policy is on screen time. And initially, I was anti-screen time, and that's just based on some things I had read. I think the recommendation used to be 0 screen time before the age of 2. So I tried to stick to that, and Carter didn't get any screen time before about 16 months old. But here's the thing. I'm living in 2018, and I'm a stay-at-home mom, and that's just not practical. It's just not reality. So now I do allow Carter screen time, and it's about quality and quantity. So in terms of quality, I always like Carter to be watching something that is educational in nature. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to start my own kids learning channel, because I just haven't found that much that I think is that good out there. So then in terms of time limits, how I am doing it now and for any future children I have is going to be 12 to 24 months is 30 minutes of screen time a day. Ages 2 to 3 is going to be 45 minutes of screen time a day. And then from 3 to 5 would be 1 hour of screen time a day. That's just my current plan. One thing I would caution you against is the habit of just having the TV on in the background. I personally don't like doing that because I think it becomes a distraction and it becomes a crutch and it can detract from their focus in being able to learn and interact with you and read books and play with their toys if the screen is on in the background, taking their attention away. Of course, there are always exceptions. So if we're in a restaurant, if he's fussy in the car, if we're traveling, I will give him my phone and let him watch something just because for me, it's better than the alternative of him having a meltdown in public. But I'm going to stop there because these are really the foundation elements, the most important things you can be doing with your child at a young age that's going to help foster comprehension and talking and for those specific skills. So how I taught Carter colors, shapes, numbers, letters, all of that stuff, I'm going to be having detailed tutorials on Carter's Corner channel. So go subscribe to that channel if you want to see more in-depth content. I'm also thinking about doing videos over there on how I've gotten him to eat his vegetables and eat healthy food and little tricks I have for that. And also on discipline, because that is something we are currently working on now as he's approaching 2. I'm trying out different techniques for discipline and reading different books. So I thought I would share some of that. Maybe even a video on sleep training. There's just so much detailed content that I want to be able to talk about freely to other moms who I know want to hear that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got something from it. And I also hope you are as excited as I am about Carter's Corner and my kids learning channel. I am so passionate about this, and actually doing this channel and starting all of this has helped me a lot getting out of the funk that I've been in, because it's given me something that I'm really excited about to focus on. So anyway, with all that said, thank you as always so much for watching, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye.
Tiger dancing.
The tiger's dancing!
It's riding.
Oh, look! The tiger's riding on the truck.